Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out your salary has stopped. No paycheck, no bonus, no monthly income. How long could you survive? A month? 6 months? A year? For most people, the answer is frightening. Because the moment they stop working, the money stops too. But for many wealthy people, life continues. Bills are paid, investments keep growing, businesses keep generating income, properties continue collecting rent, and while they're sleeping, their money is still working. So what separates these two lives? It isn't luck, it isn't intelligence, and surprisingly, it isn't even income. It's something much simpler, something most people hear about, but very few truly understand. Assets. Not because assets magically create wealth, but because they quietly change the relationship between your time and your money. And once that relationship changes, everything else begins to change too. When most people receive money, their first question is usually, what can I buy? A better phone, a newer car, branded clothes, a bigger television, a luxury vacation. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the money you've earned. After all, that's one of the reasons people work so hard. But the wealthy often ask a different question. Instead of asking, what can this money buy? They ask, what can this money become? That single question changes everything. Because money can do two things. It can disappear, or it can multiply. And that's where the story of assets begins. An asset is simply something that has the ability to create value for you over time. Sometimes it pays you directly, sometimes it grows in value. Sometimes it does both. A business, a rental property, stocks, bonds, intellectual property, even a well-built digital product. These are all examples of assets. They don't all behave the same way. Some are risky, some are stable. Some grow quickly, others grow slowly. Some generate regular cash flow. Others focus on long-term appreciation. No asset is perfect, and that's important to understand. Because wealthy people don't love assets because they're risk-free. They love assets because, unlike most purchases, assets have the potential to keep giving back long after the money has been spent. That changes the entire purpose of money. Instead of being something you only spend, money becomes something you deploy. And that's one of the biggest mindset shifts in wealth creation. Because once money starts working, you don't have to do all the work alone.
If assets are so powerful, why doesn't everyone own them? It's a simple question, but the answer has very little to do with money and almost everything to do with human psychology. Because our brains were never designed to think 20 years ahead. They were designed to survive today. Thousands of years ago, thinking about tomorrow wasn't enough. You needed food today, safety today, comfort today. That instinct still lives inside us. Only now, instead of hunting for food, we're hunting for instant gratification. A new phone, a luxury car, designer clothes, a bigger house. Every purchase gives us something, a small rush of excitement, a feeling of success, a moment of happiness. Scientists call it dopamine, that brief chemical reward our brain releases when something feels exciting. The problem? Dopamine doesn't last. The excitement fades. The new phone becomes ordinary. The expensive watch becomes normal. The luxury car becomes just another way to get to work. And before long, the brain wants another reward, another purchase, another upgrade, another temporary feeling. This is called the hedonic treadmill. No matter how much we improve our lifestyle, our happiness quickly returns to normal. So we spend again and again. Without realizing, we're feeding a cycle that never truly ends. Assets work differently. They don't usually give you excitement today, Buying a stock portfolio isn't exciting. Owning bonds isn't glamorous. Purchasing an index fund won't impress your friends. Even owning a rental property often comes with paperwork, maintenance, and responsibility. Assets ask you to sacrifice today's excitement for tomorrow's freedom. And that's why they're difficult. Not because they're complicated, because they're emotionally uncomfortable. Delayed gratification has never been easy. It's much easier to buy something that makes you feel rich than to buy something that quietly helps you become rich. And that's exactly why wealthy people think differently. They've trained themselves to value tomorrow more than today. Not because they don't enjoy life, but because they understand something powerful. Every dollar has a choice. It can create a moment, or it can create a future.
Here's where most people misunderstand wealth. They believe assets are only for rich people, that you need millions before you can start investing, that ownership is something you earn after becoming wealthy. But that's backwards. Many wealthy people didn't begin with millions. They began with one decision, the decision to own something instead of spending everything. The real problem isn't income, it's allocation. Imagine two friends. Both earn exactly the same salary. The first spends every extra dollar upgrading their lifestyle. The second spends part of it buying assets. At first, their lives look almost identical. Both go to work, both receive paychecks, both enjoy weekends. Nothing seems different. But time notices what people don't. 5 years later, one person owns a growing investment portfolio. The other owns a collection of things that have already lost value. 10 years later, one person receives dividends, rental income, business profits. The other still depends entirely on one paycheck. 20 years later, the gap becomes enormous. Not because one person worked harder, but because one person bought income-producing assets while the other bought income-consuming liabilities. That's the difference. And this is where understanding different types of assets becomes important. Some assets generate regular cash flow, like rental properties or dividend-paying stocks. Some appreciate over time, like quality businesses, land, or equity investments. Some protect purchasing power, like certain commodities during inflation. Some create intellectual value, books, patents, online courses, software, digital businesses. Even your own skills can become an asset if they continue creating income long after the original effort. But here's something many finance influencers never tell you. Every asset has advantages, and every asset has disadvantages. Real estate can generate rental income, but it also requires maintenance, taxes, and patience. Stocks can create incredible long-term wealth, but markets fluctuate, prices fall, fear spreads. Businesses can produce life-changing income, but they carry risk, long hours, uncertainty. Bonds offer stability, but often provide lower returns. Cash gives flexibility, but inflation slowly reduces its purchasing power. There is no perfect asset, only assets that match different goals. And that's exactly how wealthy people think. Instead of searching for perfection, they build balance. Because building wealth has never been about finding one magical investment. It's about owning valuable things that continue working long after you've stopped working.
The consequences of ignoring assets rarely appear overnight. That's what makes them so dangerous. Nobody feels financially behind after skipping one investment. Nobody notices the cost of spending one extra paycheck. Life goes on. Everything feels normal. Until one day, years have passed. One person owns businesses, investment portfolios, rental properties, intellectual property. The other owns expensive memories and monthly bills. One person's assets continue producing income. The other person's lifestyle continues demanding income. One has options. The other has obligations. And the gap between them keeps growing. Not because one person was luckier, but because one person spent years planting seeds, while the other spent years picking flowers. One created a future. The other consumed the present. And over time, those choices became two completely different lives.
Here's something most people never hear. The wealthy don't buy assets because they already have money. They buy assets because they understand what assets really represent: freedom. Every asset you own removes a little dependence from your life. A dividend-paying investment means you rely slightly less on your paycheck. A successful business means your income isn't tied only to your working hours. A rental property means money can continue arriving while you're somewhere else. An online product can keep selling while you're asleep. The asset itself isn't the goal. Freedom is. That's why wealthy people don't ask, "How much money did I make this month?" They ask, "How many things are working for me this month?" Because there's a huge difference between earning money and building something that continues earning without you. And that's why assets quietly become the foundation of lasting wealth. If there's one lesson hidden inside this story, it's this: money is temporary. Ownership is powerful. Most people spend years learning how to earn. Very few spend time learning how to own. But ownership changes everything. It allows your money to grow, to multiply, to survive inflation, to create opportunities, to protect your future. That doesn't mean every asset is perfect. Some lose value. Some require patience. Some carry significant risk. And that's why understanding assets matters just as much as buying them. The goal isn't to own everything. The goal is to own things that continue creating value long after the original purchase. Because wealth has never been about collecting possessions. It's about collecting productive assets.
At the beginning of this story, we asked a simple question: why do the wealthy love assets? The answer was never really about stocks, or real estate, or businesses. It was about what those things create: choice, security, freedom, time. Because every asset quietly changes one important relationship: the relationship between you and the money you need to live. The more productive assets you own, the less dependent you become on a single paycheck. And maybe that's the greatest financial lesson of all. The wealthy don't spend their lives chasing money. They spend their lives building things that keep producing value. Because one day, jobs end, businesses change, markets rise and fall, life becomes unpredictable. But well-chosen assets continue doing what they were designed to do. They continue working, even when you don't. And perhaps that's why the wealthy love assets so much. Not because assets guarantee success, not because they remove every risk, but because they give something far more valuable than money. They give possibility. They give options. They give freedom. Because in the end, the greatest investment was never the asset itself. It was the life that asset made possible.